Welcome, and today we are doing another tier list. I have played a lot of games, well, not too many, but enough for this to happen again. It's been 5 months. I know I kind of wasn't playing for 2 weeks, but I've still got a good handful of games, and I definitely, as always, have a lot to say on them. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay. There's our handful of games. I think there are around 30 of them. 32 to be exact. So 32 games. Some of them are technically repeats. I think 2, maybe? Possibly? I think 2 of them are. But that's because I've played further or the full versions of them. So let's get started. First up, Dahlmare. So the difference between when I did Dahlmare before and when I've put it in this list again is because I've actually delved deeper into the full game. And though I haven't finished it, which I should probably go back and finish it, though I haven't finished it, it is a very well-made game. Like, I've gotten only, I think it was like an hour and a half in. It's very good. It's very good at what it does. What's going to come next, if I ever actually finish it even if I finish it off camera, I will still talk about this, because in the beginning, Dahlmare wanted to be a game with no jump scares, with nothing chasing you, none of the generic, here's a monster, run from it kind of thing. And I really love that idea. I am a big fan of psychological horror, where it makes you tense and it makes you terrified, and there's something there, but it's not generic. It's not gonna be your typical like Five Nights at Freddy's or Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, or heaven forbid you play any of the other chapters. I have a lot to say on that game. We're gonna move on. Anyway, I want to delve deeper into that because Dahlmare promised that kind of decent horror without the cliche. But I have not gotten that far. As far as I've gotten, here's what I'm going to base this off of right now. The graphics are beautiful. The presentation is near flawless. Although it is a little cliche with how it starts, I think it has a good base to build from. I think they've set the foundation, and that foundation is I don't know what's happening with my voice. The foundation is strong enough to build on top of it. So as far as I've gotten, it is a really good horror game that does what it wants really well. So far, not too many cliches. I mean, there's the cliche of the evil toy company, and there's the cliche of the dolls are haunted, obviously, but no matter what you do in horror, because it's been so ran into the ground, you're going to end up with cliches. It's what you do with those cliches and what you build upon with those cliches. It's like the cliche is the ground, and you put your foundation on the ground. You have to use horror cliches because it's been ran so far into, like, it's been made so much that no matter what you do with horror, it's cliche. Dystopian? Cliche. Rogue animatronics? Definitely cliche. Anything to do with dead kids, dead toys, possessed things, monsters in the woods, any white girl ever. There's been a couple online. We have Uber. Like, you have everything done. So I'm not saying that you can't have cliches. I'm saying that you have to build on cliches to get to where you're going, and so far they have done well. So, even though I haven't finished it, I'm gonna say pretty good, I think. I think we're gonna put it in would play again, because to be honest and to be fair, I have not finished it, and I definitely would play that again to get the story through and to see what they do with it. Next up, a demo called Dude Stop. So, let's talk. I think I went easy on this when I played it, but the demo is very empty feeling. There's no punch to it, and that is one of the only reasons why I haven't gone and gotten the full game, because when you give me a demo, it is supposed to encapsulate everything that the game is in a couple minutes so that you can hook the audience. It's like an introduction to it's like the first chapter of a book, an introduction to a research paper. It's like the intro to a YouTube video. It needs something that's telling the audience, hey, here's what I am, and here's why you want to play more. This demo did not do that for me. Now, I understand that maybe it's just not my game. I understand that maybe it's just not my style. I get the fact that gaming is a very subjective, and I am putting these tier lists together using my subjective opinion. In my subjective opinion, that demo felt empty. I think when you create a demo, it needs a hook, it needs a punch, it needs something that makes the audience want to go further. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a mysterious question or something. It just has to be like a goal or just something specific that makes you want to continue. With this demo, I think it nailed the game, and you don't have to play the rest of the game to know that, to experience what you experience in the demo, which is the problem. If there is a story in this game that is more than just that, it was not shown in the demo enough to... It wasn't shown in the demo at all to make me want to go forward. If there is different mechanics or better mechanics not shown in the demo enough for me to want to move forward. Do you see what I mean? And I'm not trying to be harsh. I think the demo idea captures what the game is about. I just don't think there's enough in the game for me to want to move forward. Negative out of the way. This game is good. It is... I'm fiddling with this. This game is... It's gonna have to be like a hard cut there. This game is good. It has good mechanics. I think it runs smooth. I think the idea is there. It just doesn't work for me, I guess. So for this one, I think we're gonna change this. There we go. That looks cleaner. That looks better. That way I can put this here, because it's not a bad game. It doesn't have bad mechanics. It doesn't run terribly. It just doesn't work for me. Okay. That out of the way, next is Dispatch, and not the one you're thinking of. Dispatch. So, this game was pretty good. I think it captures what it needs to within the game, and it gives this like little crumb, this little sprinkle of a like really good idea, and it just doesn't push forward with it. The idea that a 911 dispatch operator is haunted by the mistakes of their past, or haunted by this entity or whatever, or maybe the entity is like a amalgamation of mistakes that they've made, or maybe it's guilt, or maybe it's, you know, a personification of their bad choices in life, or what they used to be before that idea is so good and so well, like, not well executed, because it's just sprinkled in. It's so well formed as like a good direction to go that I am so disappointed that this game has not gone any further. It's a good game with a good premise and good graphics, and it is good as it is. But if I could just, like, if I had the skill and the, like, reach and, like I could converse with the developer and be like, please, I need more of this. And if I could develop the rest of this, like, if they didn't want to, and I'd take this. If I had that skill, I'd be like, look, if you don't want to finish it, I will, because this is such a good idea. I don't know if the idea has been done before. I'm sure it has in horror media, like you're haunted by the sins of your past or whatever, but like a 911 operator is, their job is so intense and so like heartbreaking, at least in my mind, because you have to sit on the call with somebody, and in this specific instance in the game, they're given a really bad situation where this little girl is calling 911 because her father, who I assume is severely abusive and has gotten a restraining order put against him, is breaking into their house trying to kidnap the daughter. I think that's a really good like call to implement into the game, because it's really like a bad situation. And it's not just that one, you get a couple calls beforehand, so it kind of sort of leads up to it, but it is a small game, so it's kind of a jarring jump. But just the idea of like, to center a game or an idea around a 911 operator that is dealing with these calls, that is dealing with guilt, that is dealing with, you know, all of that. It's such a great, in my eyes, it's such a great idea, and I would love to have seen this go further, so, you know, much praise. I just want more, I guess, which is a good problem to have. So, for Dispatch, yeah, I'm gonna say it's good as it is. I wouldn't play it again, because there's not much more to it, but it is good as it is. It just, I wish there was more to it. Next up is Behind You. This game is one of the shorter ones that I have gotten to experience. I didn't technically play this one, but I was there when it well, I didn't actually play Dispatch either, but I was there, I witnessed, I looked, I saw. That's the point. This one was a short one. I think it does prey on people's fear of walking home alone at night and being, like, stalked. I think there is a better way to have done it. You're in a relatively well-lit park. I think a street of a city that's not relatively well lit would have been significantly creepier. But for the short game that it is, I think it's alright. I just think that if this idea was to be, if the developer wanted to better the idea, I think there are ways that that could go down. So for Behind You, I will say it is also good as is, which to put this on the same level, I guess I would. I want more from Dispatch. I see more that could be done here. So I guess that's all good. Next is Ho Ho Home Invasion. So, during the Christmas time, I got, and I think it's I enjoyed it. I think it's a good little tradition to play Christmassy games during the month of December, and this was one of them. This one was one of the more fun ones that I don't think I finished due to time constraints, but it was a very good, well-made, like, I would finish it in my free time if, like, I was just looking for a fun puzzle-ish game to play. Its graphics are fine. I like the cartoonish aspect of it. I like the idea that Santa has to, prepare for Christmas, and they have this like whole warehouse set up where he breaks into houses. I think that's an interesting concept. I just think it's a cute game that is definitely good, and I'd play the rest of it out if I was looking for a game like that. So for Ho Ho Home Invasion, I would play it again. I would finish that game out if, there was a day where I was like, man, I really want to pretend to break into somebody's house. So I guess that's a good thing. Next one is Christmas Time. Okay, Christmas Time was a innovative game. Now, it's another Christmas game. It deals with time travel. So you open, and you do it via 2 tabs. So you have 2 tabs open on your actual browser, and you switch between the 2 to kind of modify and change time. And I really like that idea, like, a lot. I think time travel in games is interesting. I know that it is not called Stranger Things. What is the game I'm thinking of? I had it on, like, the tip of my tongue, and then the moment I wanted to say it, it was gone. It's like a high school game where you rewind time. I think that is interesting. I think time in games is interesting. I have played a couple games where you have to use time to your advantage. However, I have never played a game that does it like this one, where not only is it 2 different tabs on like a desktop browser, but it's also, you change something here and it's like, an hour into the future, this completely shifts. And I think that's an interesting thing to do, to play in the past and then switch to the future to see, oh, it's still terrible, let's go back and change some more, switch back and forth like that. I think that's a really cool idea. So, small, short, not like terribly not innovative, interesting, I guess. It doesn't have much is what I'm saying. Small game, but innovative nonetheless, because that's pretty interesting to me. So for Christmas Time, I would say, for what it is, for what it's aiming for what it's going for, I'd put it up at really good. Next one is Let Me Inside. Let Me Inside is another game that I did not personally play. I had a friend come in here and be a part of this. So he played Let Me Inside, and to be honest, it's a good game. very it has an interesting premise. It wraps up the story nicely. There's multiple endings. The entity is, it's there. It's not too, like, memorable, but it's not horrible. It's, it matches the style of the game. I think the premise of the game is good. It's like a Five Nights at Freddy's, but you, like, move around and change stuff and close windows and shut doors and stuff. I think that's good. I think that's way more interactive than Five Nights at Freddy's, at least the first one. I just think it's a good game. I'd definitely, play again. I'd also love to see it, continue, or to see the developer create something bigger, because I definitely think that there could be more to this, but I also think that this game is limited by the I don't want to say Five Nights at Freddy's genre, but like that kind of interaction between the player and the game. I think it's limited by that. So I would love to see more from the developer, because I think they can go further. I think this game is stuck where it's at, which is first, I think. I think I see potential in most games. I think this game is stuck where it's at due to like how it's made. Which is no fault on the developer. It's just the kind of genre that it's in. But yeah, so for Let Me Inside, I'm going to say, I did say that I would play it again. I also think it's good as is. If I could put like it between these two, that'd be nice. I'm gonna say that it's good as is, but I would like to see the developer go further, not the game. Next is Krampus of Kirkwall. Okay, I feel like I should bundle this game with its twin, but we will go one at a time here. Krampus of Kirkwall is a remake of a different game on this list. I think that one's called I Caught Santa. They're both... I'm going to speak one at a time. Krampus of Kirkwall is a better iteration, I will say. It's definitely improved on what it wanted to do originally. It is an improvement of where that original game sits. It's miles away. There is more to do. There is kind of like a backstory, so you know what you're dealing with. It is painfully generic in some ways, where it's like, grab the box of ornaments, put ornaments on tree, grab the box of tinsel, put tinsel on tree. Oh no, there's a emergency broadcast about the monster. Okay, go grab something else, put it on tree. Oh no, there's the monster. Like, the best compliment and like insult to this game is it reminds me of the Fears to Fathom series. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I guess that it's a good thing for some people and it's not for others. I know there's a lot of people that like the Fears to Fathom series. I know there's a lot of people that dislike the Fears to Fathom series. But that is kind of what I give this game, that it is a Fears to Fathom kind of game. It's not that scary. It's not that innovative. It is a leap from what it started with, which we will talk about soon, though. So, for this, I'll say it still needs work as a game. It has the idea of an idea to be good, but I think it needs a lot of work before we reach good as is. Like I said, Fears to Fathom-esque, so if you know, if that's what the genre you're looking for, then it's good as is. For me, I think it needs work before it gets as good as is. Because I think even in the Fears to Fathom series, there are some times where there's tension. Here, no. Okay, moving on. Here's the prequel, I Caught Santa. And I don't want to be mean to the developers. I don't want to be uber negative. I just want to express that this sequel is much, much better. I am trying to find the words. Okay. In this prequel, in the original, not the prequel, in the original, you are a kid, and the sequel builds off this. You are a kid, you get a camera, you walk downstairs, and you take a photo of Santa. That is the game. When I and my friend played this, we did both I Caught Santa and Krampus of Kirkwall in the same video. Why? Because this game is about 5 minutes long if you push it. It's again, the idea, the Fears to Fathom echo is coming through in both games if like you cram them together, but in this one it's like you made the thought of a game. It's like the essence of what a game should be, and then you took that essence and you put it into the sequel, or like the sequel binded that essence. In here, it's just an essence, and that's it. It's not, there's nothing else. I can't call this a game if there's barely anything to do. I also did make fun of the model in the video a little, because when you do the camera flash, for some reason, the camera flash is like a gust of wind, so it messes with the model a little, which I think is funny. That's not a negative, that is a positive. If I laugh during a horror game, that is a good thing. So, like I said, the sequel's better. Both of them kind of have the Fears to Fathom echoes in them. Other than that, not much to say. So, for I Caught Santa, I will say it's... I'm gonna put it right next to its brother, and I'm gonna say it needs work. It's not for me, because it made me laugh, and that puts it a level above, but it still needs work if it's gonna be anything close to what it wants to be. Next is Meet Santa. Meet Santa is a really good game, actually. It was one of the Christmas ones that I did. Obviously, I don't know why I say that every time. Each one of these has, like, Santa in the name. Okay, anyway, it was a really good game. It has a board game, really chaotic board game, kind of like Chutes and Ladders a little bit, or Candyland to it, but then it suddenly shifts and it changes, and you're running through this hallway with these same dice, and you have to roll quickly and you have to roll well in order for you to move forward, because this giant nutcracker's chasing you, and that's so much tension, and it builds so well, and then when you get to the end, it's just, the ending is insane. I love this game. It could not get any better, and I would definitely play it again. It's so good. I love the graphics. I love the board game. I love the hallway scene. I love the ending. I love the idea. It's just, I really, really love this game. It's really good. So, even though I said I would play it again, instead I'm gonna put it up here because not only would I play it again, but it is a really good game that I have no negative things to say about it. So, next is pressing under pressure. Pressing Under Pressure is another game that I really like. It's a intense, almost kind of fast-paced game where you have to think on the spot, remember things. It's kind of like a puzzle game. It's reminiscent of a couple other games I've played. I really like it. There's not much I can say to add to it. I think maybe you could add a story, but at the same time, this game doesn't really need one. So, not much for me to say. I like the graphics, I like the idea, I like the tricks that it throws in there. I like everything about this game. You could throw a storyline in there, but I don't think it needs one. So, for Pressing Under Pressure, I didn't screw it up that time. We're gonna put it up here. Because I would play it again, because these two kind of need to have it like a separation, or like one above here where it's like I would also play it again, but it's good and I'd play it again. Either way, I'd play it again about 1,000 times because I really want to see the ending, or if there is ending, but it's also really good. So next is After the Curtain Call Act 2. After the Curtain Call Act 2, and I'm just now realizing there's a lot of good games in this list, though we haven't gotten to the bad ones yet, so anyway, After the Curtain Call Act 2 is a game that doesn't have 3 acts yet. It has Act 1 and it has Act 2. Act 1 serves as a demo, but I don't think it does. I think it has dual purpose. I think it serves as a demo and it's like, hey, this is what it's about. Maybe try Act 2. But I think some of Act 1 also ties into Act 2, so it's more like an Act 1, Act 2, waiting for Act 3 kind of thing. I played through Act 1 a long time ago, and just recently played through Act 2, which I adored. Act 2 was so good in my eyes. I can rave about it forever. First of all, I love the design. I love the art style. It reminds me of like if Bendy's art style was good. Like, it's really good. And then I like the story. I like the hint of a cult. I like the hint of maybe like extraterrestrial life forms or like Cthulhu entities. I love the multiple ideas that are happening with the egg and the coven, and you know, this person's gone here and this person's here and maybe we can save this guy, and it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good. And it was the first, Act 1 was the first introduction. No. I think After the Curtain Call, A Craft of Mine, How to Build a Snowman, and I could be getting my wires crossed, and Organ Failure are all made by the same person. My first introduction, I believe, was A Craft of Mine. I played that a long time ago. Loved it. Wrote down like a note that was like, play all the games. Then I played After the Curtain Call Act 1, and I fell in love with this like amazing art style and this amazing story, and I hope it continues because I am so awaiting Act 3 and I am so ready to see what continues and what goes forward, and it's a good game with small horror elements, but it's more focused on the story, and I love the idea. I could rant about how good this is forever. It has voice acting. I applaud the developer. I'm spitting everywhere. I applaud the developer. I applaud the voice actors. I applaud everybody. This game is amazing, and I cannot wait for Act 3. So, after the curtain call, all the way up to really good. Obviously, I love this game. I don't think there's much I can say negative about it. I think it's... even the quests are very okay, go here, do this. You know what you're dealing with. There's the papers, there's the books, there's the hints. I think your character talks a little bit about, okay, there's this portion in Act 2 where you have to pay attention to your heartbeat. I think either there's a note about that or you can catch on really quick. It's really fleshed out and really good. So, yeah. Next is organ failure. Now, I am not going to say too much about organ failure because I have ranted and raved and shouted to the stars that this is a good game enough, but I did have to put it in here because I played the not released yet that I know of, but the almost full game beta version-ish. Confusing, but basically I played what is the idea of the full game, and to be honest, it's gotten better. I think I have not, I don't remember what I said in the first, during the first time I played this, but I think everything that it needed to be improved upon, it improved upon, and it improved upon by tenfold. I won't say too much. I think I've given my thoughts fully in the videos that I've played. I've also talked about this in other tier lists. I won't say it too much. I really like this game. I know that it needs some more fleshing out, but even if it doesn't get fully fleshed out, the version that it's sitting on is incredibly good. So, even though I know it's sitting here because it's not done yet, well, I wouldn't put it in needs work. I'd say it's sitting here because it's not done yet. I would still play it again and it's really good as it is. So it is strong and stretched between these three because it needs work, it's good as it is, but it can be more, and it is going to be more as far as I know. I would play it again, have played it again, and it's really good in general, even if it's not expanded upon further. So, I don't know where to put this. I think I'm going to put it here because I really want it to expand further. It should be up here in really good, but I know it can go further. I know the developer wants to take it further, and I want it to go further because I know that there is good potential in what can be finished and polished about it. So I am thrilled to see that move forward. Next is How to Build a Snowman. How to Build a Snowman is a simplistic game made by the same developer who made After the Curtain Call that I was going to say I know for sure, but I know that it's the same developer that made A Craft of Mine. I'm going to lump it all in and say that this developer has made all of it, but I could be wrong. I'm crossing my fingers that I'm not. So, How to Build a Snowman is, first of all, good. I feel like I'm praising this developer so much, but I've played a lot of their games because they're good. So I'm going to continue with the praise. It has a good art style, has a good idea. I think the story's alright. It's not the strongest in the world, but for what the game wanted to be, I think just as a general idea, I think it's fine. It's like a good Christmas-ish game. I think the horror aspect is iffy, but I think the design of the monster is fine. I think the like actually building a snowman when you get down to the caves, that's probably the scariest part. I think the ending is fine. I think the voice acting is good. And yeah, not much else to say there. It's just a good game. I just think it isn't as good as like the later works, which makes sense, obviously. So, for how to build a snowman, I'm gonna say it's good as it is. I don't see it going any further. It's fine. It's not where Let Me Inside is, where the game itself is stuck and I just want to see the developer go further. It's just the game is done. It's as far as I think it can go for now, and I would love to see the developer go further, as they clearly have. Next is Roulette Hero. Roulette Hero is a good game with a good premise. It's repetitive. I've played it again off camera, obviously. It's got an endless mode. It's nice to play. It's smooth. It's like a deck builder kind of thing with a roulette table implemented into it. I think it's good. I don't think it can go much further. I think the developer definitely could, though. I think the developer has shown that they have good ideas with good twists on like the deck building genre. I think that the game looks good, it runs smoothly, it's well built, well made, and well maintained. So for for Roulette Hero, it is good as is. I would also play it again, and I'm gonna put it here because even though it is good as is, I would definitely play that game again a couple times, actually, because it's just that good. Next up is Retromine, the redone version, the updated version. So I played Retromine Classic before I did Retromine the remastered version, and both are really good. I like the classic version a lot. I like the redone version because it obviously has more to it. I think it's a very simple deck builder with a very simple premise. I think it has farther to go. I think there could obviously be some updates here and there. I don't think there's too much to say about it. I think that it has good graphics, it has a good idea, it has good foundation to build upon. It's just a very simple, very good game that I would definitely play again because I want to beat it. I have not done that yet. So, Retromine is going to go right where Roulette Hero is, where I would definitely play it again. I think as we go on, the ones on this side, this side, are the ones I would play more than the ones on this side. Even though I love Dahlmare and I like Home Invasion, I would definitely play Roulette Hero and Retromine more because they have that replayability built into them. Next is Feedvid Live. Feedvid Live is another one that I think has a lot of potential and has a good idea behind it, but it just doesn't connect the way I wish it did. It has that like Saw franchise kind of thing to it with a cult built into it, but then there's this, I think, heaven-ish symbolism in it. It's just, right now I think they took a bowl of, like, ideas, threw it at a wall, and whatever stuck to said wall, they just went with. And what stuck was Twitch live stream, cult, mass alien brain usage, heaven imagery. And did they, they took that and they made something good with it. It's just still a little messy. So I think it could be refined. I think it could be made better. I think there are certain things where if the story is clearer than I'm making it out to be, and the developers know what they were going to do, and they knew what the story was going to be about, and it's right there, it's not clear enough. Because if I'm saying that it looks like spaghetti mush that's thrown into the wall and you picked off what sticked, then it's not clear enough story-wise to the player, which means the story is almost non-existent. If your story is not clear to the player, I'm not going to repeat myself. Let's say that I had a really good idea and I knew what I was talking about, but when I put it on paper, like writing a book, if I wrote a book and there was just these giant, ideas that I had, and I strung them together, but they were kind of all over the place, but I knew why it was all over the place, and I knew the symbolism, and I knew the reasons. That doesn't matter if you cannot get it across properly. And that's what I feel like happened here, where the ideas were good, but it just wasn't executed right, or it was legit just, here's what, a random word generator gave us, let's make a game out of this. That's what it feels like. So, good idea, good base idea with the live stream thing, and the cult, because I think there is an potential in a live stream and cult idea kind of being combined, but I just think it's too messy right now to be what it needs to be. So for FeedVid Live, I'm going to put it right here in needs work because I think it's not good as is. I think it's too messy. I think in that mess there's not enough substance, whichever one, to be a good game and to say, yeah, you just need to take this a little further. I think it needs work before it even gets up here. Next is 13 Bones. 13 Bones is a card game deck builder, and I think there's a small pattern here where I like a lot of deck builders. Anyway, 13 Bones is a good one. The mascot, I swear, gives me deja vu every time because I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, but I cannot pinpoint where, and it's kind of trippy. Anyway, I think it's good. I think it has a good base. I think it does well with the idea. I think the final boss could probably be harder unless I am misremembering. I don't think it was that difficult. I think the quirks of each character are nice. I think it's just a really simple game with a really simple premise. I think you can unlock decks. I'm not sure. Could be wrong there. I think you can unlock decks. But yeah, it's just a simple deck builder. I like it. It's good. So for 13 Bones, I'm gonna say it's just good as is. It's a good game. It sits where it sits. I probably wouldn't play it again. I think it's just good. I think if you're gonna make a game where you unlock decks, I think it should be harder to... I think trying to get the words across. I think it should either start out too hard to beat with deck 1 and you have to unlock the decks to move on, or as you unlock the decks, it should be harder. Now, I don't know if that happens because I haven't replayed it. I'm just putting words out there. Next is Captuaware. Captuaware was another good game. Not too much to say about it. It was just kind of like a quick time event kind of thing. It has a good base, has a good premise. It was kind of in that vein of survey horror that I really, really enjoy. And I know I found the magnum opus of survey horror within, I've completely blanked on the name. I'm not even gonna try. I found the magnum opus of survey horror, but I think re-looking at that magnum opus, it could have been better, honestly. So, not gonna talk about that right now, but I'm gonna say that Captuaware was kind of in that survey horror genre or survey horror adjacent genre of captcha horror, and I thought it was like a horror game at first, but then it's like a quick time event kind of game, which I really enjoyed. It was a good game. It just, I don't think it has far to go. So for Captuaware, I'm gonna put it in good as is because I think the game is fine. I think it's fun. I don't think it's too replayable. I think it's a good game that can't go any further. Okay, here we go. Next one is It's Not Me, It's You. And I only give it an introduction like that because this game, I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried to get it to work. I replayed it, I downloaded it twice, I reloaded everything. I think I even reset my PC. I was so desperate to make this game work and to make sure it wasn't something on my end. But this game is so broken. It was supposed to be a card game that you play, that you could like break up with your partner as fast as possible. The cards don't work. The game barely loads. When it does, and by the way, none of this is negative. Why? Because I had a blast laughing every time this thing crashed, every time the download crashed, every time it froze, every time I thought it worked and then nothing worked. It was a blast doing this. So what I'm saying is not negative. I'm saying that it's broken. It could be good if it's not broken. So the game did not load 75% of the time. The other percentage that it did load, it would crash either 5 seconds in, it would freeze 5 seconds in. If I downloaded the game at all, I could not get it to load no matter what. It would be stuck on the opening screen, and that is it. When I like actually got to play the game for a good, half of a minute, the cards didn't work. The instructions were almost non-existent to my memory. And then it crashed, So I cannot experience a game that doesn't work, which is why on the tier list there is a thing that's just broken, because I feel like the games could have been fine and I could have given better commentary on them if they weren't broken. So as much as I would love to be like, yeah, I think the premise is good and I think the design is great and whatever, I think the design is fine. It's reminiscent of like not old, but like interactive fiction. I think the premise is fine. I think the design is good. The game is not something I can compensate on those. So, yeah. For It's Not Me, It's You. For the design, I say it's good as is. For the premise, I say it needs work. For the game, it's broken. I can't say much more. Next one is Listen to the Walls. And now we enter into the streak of games where I have to be very particular with what I'm tier listing, because this is another broken game. Listen to the Walls was supposed to be a puzzle horror kind of thing where you would be this little light and you'd have to avoid the walls like a maze and find the right things and get through it all before, you know, the game stopped. For some unknown reason, when me and my friend were playing this, the game had invisible walls where you just had to crash into to get through, making the speedrunning portion near impossible, making the health bar a unbearable irritation, and making the game near unplayable. The idea, not terrible. The execution could use work. The game, unplayable. So again, to Listen to the Walls, the idea, I would say, needs work. I think you could do like an 8-bit mini game where, you know, you're like a little kid with a flashlight trying to find his way through something, like maybe a house or a nightmare or something like that. I think the execution is not for me, and I think the game is broken. Next is Curiosity Killed the Explorer. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be mean to these developers or these games, because I think if they worked, they would not be bad. I just can't say that, because it's broken. But this one was not. Curiosity Killed the Explorer was not a broken game. As far as I'm aware, it did not crash, it did not, all the mechanics seemed to work, whatever and what have you. Here's my problem with it. It is a maze-like cave structure with no direction where to go, and seemingly the story is fragmented. Now, I get it. It's a cave. You're not supposed to know where to go. The developer maybe wanted to make you feel like you were lost. You don't necessarily feel lost as you do frustrated. I think there are ways to successfully make a player feel lost, feel like they don't know where they're going, but make it not frustrating. I think there are ways you can make the story feel or be fragmented in different parts of this very confusing cave without it being so fragmented the player does not know what they're doing. However, this game was not able to do that. The cave system seemed nonsensical. It was just running around in circles with no tension. The story was like, oh, okay, there's an interesting portion, but why? Where did this come from? What's it supposed to be? Something like that. And I don't think a story should ever be that way, because it makes the player feel agitated and like they've got nothing out of the game, because you don't know the story, you don't know what happened, you have no idea where you just went, and that's about it. I think if the story started with like this guy coming out of like parking, getting out of the car, walking around these woods, getting kind of like I've been doing this for years, I've been hiking for years, I go cave diving all the time, here's this door in the middle of, this mountain, what is it? Let's go explore. Okay, now we're in the cave. Then we could have gotten some backstory that would have tied in more. I think that this game is good, and I think this game is okay and has the potential to be good. I just think it needs a lot of work to get there. So, unfortunately, for Curiosity Killed This Explorer, I'm going to put it in needs work because it's there. It has the breadcrumbs of maybe something good, but it needs that, like, rounding out to be good. Next is, I think it's called Zone Out. Okay, this game, I'm gonna be, like, completely honest, I'm not a fan of. There was a warning at the beginning that's like it uses specific language or praise language or something like that. I think, yeah, I mean, it does, but it also uses very specific sentences that are like, that are more reminiscent to a different type of trigger warning, that are like, you know you want this, you asked for this, don't act like you're not enjoying this. That is not praise language. Also, the game is non-existent within this. I get the idea that it's supposed to hypnotize you. And I get that I was doing it on camera, so it's hard to get that across. And if this game can actually do hypnotism, because I'm not opposed to that idea, great. But I don't know, it doesn't... There's something about it that doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the language that's used. I don't know if it's like the language plus the fact that this is hypnotizing you. It just didn't work for me. It was just not a game I will ever go back to. It's not something I care for. It's just not something I'm interested in. I thought it was going to be an interesting kind of like, oh, this is going to be fun, but it was just not something I'm for. So this'll go with here. It'll just sit here with just a game that just didn't connect with me. Next is Dystopicon. This game, I don't know if I've praised it enough when I played it, but it is amazing. I love the idea, the story is great, there is different endings. I have played it again in my off time, and it was beautiful. I know the full game is coming out on Steam. I know there's a lot I missed in my video, which I was banging my head up against a wall because it was right in front of me. There are a lot of things I missed. There was a lot of story that, I could have explored more of. There is a lot of rooms that I missed. The video's good, don't get me wrong, and I get the basic of it. But there was so much I missed that I felt let down by myself for missing those portions. So I have replayed it since. It is a good game. It is a great game. It is interesting, and I really want to see what this could be further, because I don't know. Unless they further the story with the resistance and there is actually a government takedown, that would be cool. There could also be animations instead of newspaper. There could be more emphasis on the government being, this like overpowering, overwhelming, controlling thing. I could see where it could get better, and I am definitely interested in seeing the full game. But as it is, the demo is amazing. It is like, no joke, probably 3 hours worth of playtime, and that's a lot for a demo. yeah. So, Dystopicon. I know it is really good. I have played it again, and it is good as is, but I know it can be more, and I want to see it become more. But I want to put it up here. I'm going to put it up here. I know it's good as is, and it could be more. I am also putting it up here at really good because I have not seen a demo where it is like that long of a playtime with that much to it. So I'm very interested to see what changes from the multi-hour long demo to the full game. So as much as I would like to put it here where it's like good as is, but I'd love to see more of it, it is such a good demo that I'm going to put it up here. Next is Type Help. I don't think I've talked about this game much in the sense of like, is it good or not? I think I've talked about it maybe in another tier list because I have been playing this for a long time. It's a very difficult game to be like, is it good, I think, without finishing it. Because I have no idea what the story is ending-wise. This game is not something I've ever seen anyone else do. There have obviously been detective games, but I have not seen anything else do it like this before, except one other game, and that game was not great. I would like to play that game again, knowing what I know now with Type Help, and see if it is any better, but Type Help is such a unique game that I think it's, like I said, it's very hard to say, yeah, this game is good without finishing the story. And I do know now that it could be better because they're coming out with a remastered version with voice acting, with visuals, with, new interactive surfaces, with a bunch of different stuff. So I don't know if this game is... Well, here's what I will say. The game itself, the bare bones, the controls, the way you interact with it, the whatever, could be built upon, obviously. But it's really good as it is. It's really interactive. It's something that will, get you hook, line, and sinker and pull you to the bottom. And as you're struggling to, pull yourself back up, it's going to pull you back in again. There have been multiple times where I'm like, okay, I only have this amount of time to play this game and I have to go do something. And I've gone overtime because this game is that good. The story, I cannot opine on. I cannot say because it is not done yet. However, where we are now, I'd say it's pretty good. I'd say there are a lot of ways you could get stuck. I think that was the intention in the original. I hope it's not the intention with the remake because I feel like the getting stuck part is the not fun but fun parts of it, because when you get stuck it sucks to get through it, but once you're through it you're like, oh my gosh, this is where the bulk of the story is. So it's good, but it's also very easy to get stuck. So I hope they kind of just a little flesh that out a little bit in the final. I'm not hoping for too much because this game is really good as is, and they are already remaking the visuals and the voice acting and everything, and I'm so excited for the full game. As it is, this game, the bare bones, is good. It could be more. The story has just gotten started, so I can't really say much. So, for Type Help, I will say it is good as is, and I would definitely play it again, and I will replay it or switch when the full version comes out. But it does need a little work, and we're seeing that done in the full version. Next is Die in the Dungeon Classic. This is another deck builder. I don't like classifying these as deck builder because it's more like dice builder, but it's the same, it's in the same umbrella as like deck builder. This one was good. I think the story's fine. It's a very simple game. You can't say much about it. I think the art style is good. I think it's fun. I think the challenges are fine. I think the boss is fine. I think it's all good. It's just a good, fine game. If you're looking for another deck builder to play, here's one. Like, it's not bad. So, for Die in the Dungeon, I'm gonna just put it as good as is. It's just a good, decent deck building game. Next is Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers, which I originally thought the title for this was Dungeons and Degenerates, and I don't know why. But Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers, it's another deck building game. Shocker. And it's good. It's not, I mean, it's the demo. It's a lot for a demo. I'm not gonna lie. You could probably just play the demo and be fine with it. I definitely do want to see how the story ends, but I am fine to also not see how the story ends. It's not like it didn't connect with me. I had fun playing it. It's a blackjack game, and I love playing blackjack. It's my favorite card game. But it's just a lot for the demo. I think if you actually, as much as I don't want to say this, I think if you actually trimmed down the demo more, you would have the more ability to be like, okay, here's all that you could have, you know, you had fun in these 2 sections, here's this, instead of like, here's 5 sections, here are the last 2, full game. That's where it drags itself down a little bit, I think. Other than that, it's just a good game, good premise, good, you know, everything. If it continues on like a couple more levels, then I'd say the full game's worth it. I don't know that it does. But yeah. Yeah, it's just a good deck building game to pass the time. So I'd say good as is. Just another deck builder that you can play. I don't know if I'd ever play the full game though. Next is, oh my gosh, this is a long title. Hoarder's Horrible House of Stuff. I didn't trip on that one. This game, I feel like there's not much to say about it. It's just a very simple puzzle game with like a cool art style and pretty decent puzzles. I mean, they're not that hard. I feel like anybody could get through them. If I can get through them, anyone can get through them. I'm not the best at puzzles, so yeah, it's just a good, cute game with a nice little ending, good puzzles, good mechanics. It runs smoothly. I like the design of it. I like the mechanics. It's just a good game. I feel like we're getting into those that I can't say too much about, but I feel like there's that's a good thing. I'm not complaining too much. So this is just Hoarder's Horrible House of Stuff is a good puzzle game. Just a very good game. I'd like to see what the developer goes from there, actually. I wonder what their next project is. Next is Subject 26. I'm trying to remember the number for that. I think it's 26. Subject 26 is another one of those games where if I had the, like, talent or, like, $3 million burning a hole in my wallet, I would be like, produce as much as possible. Because this game's idea really, really intrigues me for some reason. The idea that, like, obviously we have the groundwork, the cliche of, okay, we're in a mental institution, they're bad people, they're doing, you know, probably human experimentation, the people are evil, whatever. But it does it through sort of symbolism, and I kind of like the symbolism, and I wish they leaned into the symbolism more. Like, our main character can turn into a butterfly, and the bad guys, I think, are wasps, maybe, or dragonflies, one of the two. I would love to see it lean into more symbolism. I'd love to see this developed more into not a first-person game, and definitely not third-person. I think it's fine how it is. It's just me. I want to see more of the story from it. And I know there's not much right now, but it's so... I can see the vision of, like, something beautiful, and I just wish I wish that game, like, could go further. So, for Subject 26, I'm going to say that it is a game that is good as is. I feel like. I don't want to put it with this, because this is a mess of games that, like, really need work, but it does. It needs work. I think it needs to lean more into that symbolism. I think it needs to, I think it needs to lean more into symbolism in general. I think it needs to lean more into whatever it's going for. I think it needs more story. I think it just needs to be, like, developed more. But it is an interesting game. Next is the Invincibility Complex. The Invincibility Complex is a game that I believe is still getting worked on, and I actually got to talk to the developer, and yes, it is getting worked on. I actually got to, like, chat with the developer, and they are really amazing people, and I'm excited to see, I'm interested in seeing where this game is going, because it has an almost sort of hint of Squid Game, where it's like this evil corporation that's preying on the poor people to get money. It has a hint of, like, a good turn-based, kind of like a couple of the others I played. It has the foundation of, like, a good, well-rounded game. It just needs to go further. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't think it needs work. I think it's good as it is right now. It doesn't need a lot of work. I'm trying to think. Because it is good, but I think it does have a long way to go before it's something that can... And that's not a bad thing. It just means it has a lot of potential it cannot reach. Or it has not reached. If... Like, the difference between, and neither of these games are bad, the difference between Let Me Inside, where it's stuck where it is, and I don't think it can go any further because it doesn't have any more potential, and the Invincibility Complex, which it's good, but it's not good where it is because it has so much potential. I think being it's not good where it is because of that potential is better than it's good as it is because there's no more potential. So when I put Invincibility Complex in Subject 26 and Curiosity Killed the Explorer and Feedvid Live and these down here, I'm not saying they're terrible games that need all this work to be better. I'm saying they're not good as they are because they either need a lot of work or they have so much potential that I can't be satisfied with where it's sitting right now. I'd rather see what it could be and be satisfied with that. That's all this column really is, where it's just like the potential is too much for me to be like, yeah, this is okay. So yeah, anyway, next is the Barrel Roll demo. Barrel Roll is a game with good, it's a good, I praised it a lot when I played it because it is good. And it has a good idea, and it has a good premise, and it's kind of a deck builder, and it's got all the good stuff, and the music is, boom, it's great. I just spat on my desk. It's fantastic, but it has a little ways to go. I think there can be special animation for the like super rare bullets. I think there can be special animations for the bosses. I think the art style can be amped up a little. I think the sound design can be changed and modified, and I really like it because it gives like a lot of it gives a lot of like remembrance, that's not the right word, but I'm going to use it, to like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That is what this game reminds me of, and I would love to see it pushed further, even though it is good as it is. So for the Barrel Roll demo, and I know they're working on a full game, I'm going to say that it is good as it is, but I would like to see that potential pushed further. And we have come to the last one, which is the Trees Hate You demo. This game is fun, it's interesting, it's very reminiscent of like years ago when rage games were popular with like Unfair Mario and the Bennett Foddy, I think that's the correct name, Getting Over It, and like all that. And I'm really happy to just be seeing a game like this and know that there's still a community for these games and people still really like them, because it's very, it takes me back a little bit, and I want to go find Unfair Mario again. But this game is good. It has a good art style. I know that they're adding a lot more to it. And I think even though it's good where it is in the demo, I would love to see that potential reached. And I am very excited for the full game because I love the style of this and I love the idea of this, and I love the challenge, and this game has the potential to take that and go far with it. And I would really, really love to see that. So for the Trees Hate You, even though it is good as is, even though I would play it again when it comes out, even though it's a really good demo, not that good, but it's a really good demo, I'm going to say it needs work, because much like the Invincibility Complex, much like Curiosity Killed the Explorer, it has this potential that I hope one day it can reach. And that is our tier list this time around. 5 months, and there is our tier list. That's that. 5 months of games, 30-something games, and that is the tier list. It's nice to talk about these in depth, because I don't like to, end my videos with, a long speech about how this could be fixed and how good it is, or, the different changes I would make to it. So I really like, tier listing these and being like, okay, here's 32 games. I want to talk in depth about how each of these are either really good as they are, or they could be improved, or just putting them on a list of hey, this is what's coming out, this is what's just there, this is what's really good, this is what's in this case broken. I really like this. So it's always fun doing these, and I always have a good time talking about the games and stuff because I think it's helpful, or I think it's good to talk about the games instead of just like playing them and being like, oh yeah, okay, that was good, let's move on. I like to say, here's a pros and cons list, because while I'm playing a game, I'm seeing that built. I'm being like, okay, this can be improved, this is great, this could be improved, this is, okay. And after I play them and when I come back to them, I almost dropped my pen, I always have more to say, so I really like doing these, and yeah, 5 months, 32 games. I need to pick it up for the next 5 months. I need to get better at that. So, yeah. Thank you for sitting down, thank you for watching, and thank you for hopefully enjoying as much as I did, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.